You may have worked your way up the progression ladder slowly on your e-bike, jumping from small tabletops. You worked your way up to doubles, but often when you go to a bike park, there can be some pretty intimidating big features, and if they go wrong, it can mean big crashes. So today we're going to take a look at a few of the bigger bike park features and how you're going to tackle them. So it's not all straightforward at the bike park when it comes to jumps. Yes, you are going to get jumps that go in a straight line, tabletops and doubles, but we're talking about hip jumps, and these things can definitely catch you out if you don't have the right technique. A hip jump, if you don't know what it is basically a slanted takeoff, and it changes the direction of your travel out on the trail. So it's going to jump either to the left or to the right. So to do a hip jump, the important thing is before is the approach. So this I know is a left-hand hip. So I'm going to approach it on the right-hand side of the trail and carve across the takeoff. When I mean carve, I'm actually turning across. So I start wide and do a slight arc across the takeoff. That way the bike's going to be pointing in the right direction of the landing. If I was to come straight, the bike's going to want to slide out front wheel, and I'm going to probably case, and the landing goes the opposite way to which I'm going to land on my bike. So you definitely need to do that big carve to initiate the hip takeoff. Now we're in the midpoint of the jump, and it's all about weight positioning. So my weight, I want to be more on the left side of the bike, dropping your shoulder in, tilting your head. That way the bike's going to be flying through the air to the desired angle of the landing. So when you're jumping hips, it's vitally important to take a look at the height and the shape of the takeoff. As I mentioned, on the right-hand side, the takeoff is a lot higher than the left-hand side. But if I was to hit the left-hand side, I can work my way up to judging the speed. To this landing here is actually a slight landing. I know it's a bit shorter, but then all I'd do is add a bit more speed and hit the higher side of the takeoff and work my way across to the bigger side of the landing. Just work up in tiny little bite-sized chunks, because if you go too big on a hip straight away, it's really easy for the front wheel to wash out and dump you straight on your face. Now the wall ride, or the wall slide if you get it wrong, is one of the most intimidating features at the bike park, and you definitely need a dialed in technique even to tackle one of these. This one here at Leeds Urban Bike Park is actually massive and probably the biggest and the fastest wall ride I've ever done, definitely on an e-bike anyway. Usually at bike parks, these are a bit smaller. They can vary on how steep they are. If the angle of the wall ride is actually relaxed, it's actually quite easy. It's quite similar to kind of jumping and riding into a berm, or that sensation you get when you're railing a berm. Now, before you even tackle the wall ride, you need to think about which way you're going to wall ride. Obviously, if you're left foot forward, traditionally riders wall ride to the left as well. So you need to figure out which way you're going to turn. As I say, right foot forward riders, if you go right foot forward when you ride, you're traditionally going to wall ride to the right. So it really dictates which way you carve into the wall ride. And obviously the carve is a really important part of doing the wall ride. If you don't do the carve, you're not even going to accentuate the movement needed to get up onto the wall. And once you've done the carve, you actually need to lean the bike up so the wheels are actually going to meet the surface like this, because if you're landing like this, they're literally going to slide straight down. And as I say, it's going to be a wall slide and not the wall ride you imagined. So once you're on the wall, it's actually time to relax and have confidence in the speed that you've got, have confidence in the grip in your tires as well. Think about that body position. When I do a wall ride, you want to drop the inside shoulder, push the bike onto the wall, and you can slightly feel when you're about to lose traction or run out of speed. So you're probably thinking, what about when you run out of speed? How do you manage that? Well, it's all about a tiny front wheel lift. You kind of squash the suspension up. It's quite similar to the drop-off technique. So you're squashing the bike in, lifting that inside shoulder, squaring the bike up perfectly to land into the landing. This is when things get super smooth. If you get it in there, you're gonna absolutely fly out of the wall ride. So obviously with any of these techniques, you don't go in flat out and try and send it first go. You need to work up in little tiny steps. I'm just going to work my way up this wall ride just really low, get used to how much grip, how much speed, and actually how much speed and distance I'm going to need to clear this whole thing. So there's a few things that I'm obviously going to attribute to big jumps. First up is entry speed. Now this 42-foot monster, I'm hitting flat out. I'm pedaling as hard as I can to get that. Obviously the amount of compression and pop you give it out the takeoff is going to generate a lot of height and distance. So make sure you're pulling up hard and going big. So one of the questions that a lot of people ask is, how fast do I have to go for big jumps? Well, there is no definitive answer. We all ride differently, our bikes work differently, and we've all got different levels of experience. But if it's a big tabletop, kind of like this one, you can work your way across in small chunks as well. Just adding a bit more speed to it, bit more pop, and work your way over it one by one. If you go into it flat out first go, it could probably catch you out and could be a big crash straight away. Now, what do you do if you're not actually going to make the distance on a big jump like this? Well, actually, tell the truth, I didn't jump this jump first time. Oh, and I did have to deploy the safety pencil. Now, we've talked about this in previous videos before. What you do is when you're in the air, you push down with your feet, so it puts the back wheel down in the air, pull up with the handlebars, and actually try and land back wheel first. That way it's actually a lot safer because the bike's going to land a lot smoother than trying to nose in. If you go and try and nose into this landing, it could just be a massive nosedive, and if you don't make the landing, you kind of come into the landing like this, bounce on the front wheel, and it could eject you straight over the bars. So get that safety pencil deployed. So there you go, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video on all those advanced bike park techniques. Get you doing your wall rides, get you doing your big jumps and your hip jumps. It'd be really cool to see some of you guys hitting that stuff in. Don't forget to send it to us in on the show as well. It could be you on the EMBN show. Don't forget, if you don't want to miss another video from us, click the globe in the middle. You can subscribe to EMBN to make sure you don't miss out on any videos. If you want to check out another video, check out Drop Off Mistakes. That one's over here. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Drop some comments in the box below. And it's absolutely tipping it down here. So I'm heading to the cafe, get out of this rain. I'm definitely not going to be riding any bike park in the rain.